It's fine.
We are live, I think.
Yay.
Hello, everyone. Give everyone a second to kind of trickle in, but we are here for another Immortals After Dark.
I know, I'm so
live show.
excited.
We're almost done. It's almost coming to a close.
And we're going to read the
right
one
now,
book I have never read in this series next month.
Really?
/ this month, I guess.
Is it the book with the flames on it?
Is
that the last one?
No, it's the other one. It's the Gay For You one.
Oh.
Shadows Seduction.
Shadows?
I don't really, I mean, I've talked about this. I don't read a lot of MM by like white ladies, like straight white ladies, generally speaking. And I'm pretty sure Cressley, I mean, I don't know. I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but Gay For You is also like my least favorite trope. I just don't enjoy it. I find it very unbelievable, I guess. To an extent. I don't know. It's weird. I think it can be weird. It can be fun, but I think it can be
if
really
it's
weird.
done right, it can work. Like in a
It can work. It can work. I mean, I'm not going to say it never works, but it's just it's such a tricky spot, you know? Like, I don't know. I have very weird feelings about it.
Okay, so what's the first book is Shadow's Claim. Let me text everyone in the chat so they know we're live.
Oh yeah, we need to post in the oh my god, why couldn't I was writing down their names so I didn't forget them. Note sheet.
It's Shadow's Claim, McCreeve, and Dark Sky.
Yes.
Right?
Those are the three, it's okay. What was it? Shay was like, what one is the one I'm not going to like? And I was like, this one. And then I was like, no, not that one. No, this one. No, this. Went through 3 titles before I got the right one.
Okay, these are the only ones I can remember because they're so different from each other. It's
not
like
the next
Wicked
round.
Knees on like a Dark Night or like Wicked something on a night. I'm like, come on, Cressley. I'm like, you can never tell your book's order by like just looking at them. You're like, okay, what's the first book?
Well, for a while it was fun because it was like end and then start with the next word. Like it had kind of a theme going, and then it was just like, nah.
It's just like Shadow's Claim. I'm like, I get it how it's related, but like it doesn't match any of your other titles.
Well, I think it's because it was supposed to be more of a spinoff series than it has been.
Oh.
Because the Dacians are supposed to be their own series also. But she has only written 2 of them. And I think After Monroe is supposed to be the 3rd Dacian book. Because technically you could start with Shadow's Claim, which is where I started. So Shadow's Claim was my first ever Cressley.
It's actually a good starting place, I would say.
I think so. I agree. I think it stands on its own. You can really like jump in without too much pressure. And I liked it. I liked it a lot.
It's okay, Laura. We're talking about Shadow's Claim, Dark Sky, and then McCreeve. I always think like I read McCreeve before because like it sounds very similar to the other brother.
Well, because you're thinking of the one in the last batch, which was one of the McCreeves families, and they're in the Amazon and La Dorada. Dorado, whatever her name is.
I think.
Dorada, I think. I don't know. Every time I say it, I'm like, that's not right. And then I'm like, but it's not El Dorado. Fuck if I know. You know, I love this series, but I'm still like, I don't know.
I don't know
nothing about the lore. I don't pay that much attention. I'm just here for the violence, and Shadow's Claim delivers in pure violence.
Every way. It's like every single way. Like,
so what did you think of Trahan and Patina?
I love them. I love Patina and her kind of nickname as like the pushover. Like the pushover, and then like her godmother, Morgana. I think
Morgana,
She needs a book. Like I like as soon as I saw her character, I'm like, you're someone who can go toe to toe with Nyx, and I like that.
Yes.
Especially at the end where the sword comes into play. She's like, Nyx predicted this, but she didn't see this. I was like, I love you.
Because Nyx is all seeing, but not. It can still change. I
what
just
did you
love
think
her.
second time around?
So third time on this one. Somehow this is my 3rd time reading this one since it was my first. This is my second full reread. So this is tied really close with McGreeve for my favorite of these three. Because I really like Trahan. He's so different. Like Laura was talking about in the chat, like he's so much more together than everyone else in the series, kind of. And I think it's a side effect of age, maybe. You know, he's had longer to develop like some calmness. A little less.
That's like a little. Chaos. I was like, can we say that? Because he kind of went off the handles.
He's still just a little more together.
Yeah, he's like just like very slightly.
He is my favorite because he delivers her a bag full of it. Like, I've said it many times. I love a hero that says, "I will kill for you." And Trahan was like, not only that, but I'm going to bring you the bag of heads and just throw them on the ground as a prize. And Bettina is she's very refreshing as a heroine. And I love every single Kresley heroine. Even in Dark Sky, I love Ianthe. I just hate Thronos. But she just I loved that she was doing like all the metalworking and stuff. Like that was really interesting. It was a nice twist because like the setting is different.
It is.
I can't tell how not modern that world is, if that makes sense, where they were.
Oh, yeah, that's hard. It's like, I got like very much like gladiator vibe type.
Yeah, totally. But then I was like, I don't think it's quite that gladiator.
I think it's modern. I know McCreeve is more modern because there's like a Justin Bieber reference. So I was like, that kind of gave it a little bit. I caught that immediately. I was like, what?
I was like, whoa. I did too. I was like, oh, that's interesting. I mean, yeah, I really like them. I like that setting too. I think a battle to win the hand is always fun, right? That's like a classic trope. And he was just like, I'm going to do this. This is not even an option.
But I love how the first round of the competition was like no warning. Just like, here's some weapons, kill each other. I'm just like,
it's perfect.
I was like, Kresley, who hurt you in this book? Like, I was like, so much carnage. I was like, I feel like I need a book for all the people who have died in Kresley's book to tell their story.
They're like, because, like, well, I just showed up to this thing and then I just got murdered right away. That was great.
Because like half of them were drunk too.
Yeah.
They didn't realize it was going to start like that exact moment.
I also liked that this was like such a good play on the whole like pining for your best friend thing. And it was like, oh, wait. No, I don't actually want you. I just thought I did. I was like, that's nice. It like she was overly like piney for him and that was annoying. But then when she realized, I was like, oh, good. We're good.
But I do have to say, Kresley is like doing some like really cool things in this book. Like the fact that she fought for her relationship with Caspian, even though it was platonic, while still valuing her relationship with Trahan. And like
really
Trahan couldn't connect the two dots, but I was like, I love that so much because she's almost saying like both of them are important but different.
Yes.
And I love how she didn't turn Caspian into like a whole douchebag or something like that. I really like how that played out because I was like, a lot of other authors would just said like, oh, he's a douche, like he's a bad person. But I even like how it ends. I'm like, he has to get a book at some point.
He's our gay for you.
Yes. I just need a book because I was like,
he's our gay for you.
Especially when they came to almost hate each other a little bit, because like he's in this competition for her. And like she was been trying to force this relationship, and he was always like, "Nah, this is not for me." But I just love that dynamic so much, and how I like, especially when Trahan loses it. I'm like, I love this so much.
Well, and I appreciate it because like that's life. Like you're like friendship shouldn't have bounds of gender in any way, and like I think it's really silly to be like, oh, well, now that you have a fated mate, we can't be friends. Like, it's just so dumb. And people are, I mean, people are like that, unfortunately. But, like, I don't know. I just appreciate the level of friendship that Kresley still puts into her books, even this far in, is nice. It's always refreshing. Even Salem, her, like, shadow guard dude, was, like, a good friend, I felt like.
Yeah. Because I don't think we have seen a strong friendship between a female character and a male character.
No, and I feel like we get a little bit
female.
of that in McGreeve too, with Monroe and Chloe. It's a friendship that's like blossoming on the page.
Yeah.
And that, like, I feel like she kind of like threw that in more in these two.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's like a rebuttal against. I could see some of the critiques of how possessive the male could be, and you don't really see. You see a lot of female friendship across the board throughout all the books. You see it with the males too as well. But like this is like one of the first times you actually see very blatantly like a really strong platonic relationship.
Yeah.
That doesn't like go off the rails. He doesn't turn into a douche. He doesn't like. It's like no drama. They both realize like, hey, we're not for each other.
Yeah. And I think Caspian knew they weren't. And that's why he was like, no, we're not doing this. Because he valued the like that friendship they had already.
Yeah, I really like that. And especially the whole climactic scene where she gets her powers back and how she chooses to use them. I was like, oh, such a good drama.
I liked also, this had like the right kind of miscommunication trope for me. Because it made sense. Like, of course, Trahan's going to think she betrayed him in this moment, because like in his mind she's just been waiting for her to betray him for Caspian to an extent. Like I feel like, you know, so it made sense. I wasn't like, why are we having a miscommunication trope here?
Yeah, it
like,
made sense.
The adults.
I like Lothair's advice. He's just like, who cares?
She
doesn't have a choice.
This had
She's yours.
A fun tie-in to Lothair. I felt like it was so nice. It was so funny to see him being the king of the Daisies, kind of, and having to like deal with that. Yeah, this tied in so perfectly. We also got. Did we get references to the Talisman High in this? No. There was another book where they talked about stuff earlier on in this 3, I thought, but I don't remember if it was this or if it was in McGreeve.
I think it might have been in McGreeve.
Yeah.
The only thing I can remember, I think Sabine gets mentioned.
Yes, that's what it is. They talk about Sabine.
I think Sabine pops up in these 3 books.
Yeah, they do. That's what I'm thinking of. Is Sabine. I was like, wait, I just read these, but you know, brain.
Same. I was just like, but I'm pretty sure it was Sabine that like gets mentioned throughout all the 3 books in this one. I think that's a connection. McGreeve and Dark Sky obviously more, but it's a little bit in this one too because because Morgana mentions who she's siding. We get a little bit more of like who's siding with who for the extension.
Yes,
I'm wondering too if Kresley's going to actually kill like main characters. I feel like she has to. Even though I know it's like breaking rules.
I don't think we're ever gonna get these. This sounds so bad. Part of me thinks we're never gonna get them. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. They just needed to talk, and like it made sense. I feel like I would have jumped to the same conclusion in his shoes. Like it made sense. Yeah. Okay. Sabine. That's what I was like. I feel like Sabine was in this one. Yeah. Also Nyx in this one. Nyx in this one, I forgot, first of all, about Nyx in this one. She's in the stands eating popcorn. And they're like, who's that? What's going on?
And she pops up in McGreeve, too. She plays a role
her and
in
McGreeve
that relation.
In Dark Sky is my favorite, but we'll get there. But yeah, I just loved how they're like, there's this weird person in the stands.
Just like randomly
cheering for this, like
I just want Morgana and Nyx to like have some interactions because I feel like Morgana's like so far the only character that can seem to outmaneuver and know Nyx's blind spots.
I mean, it's hard when you're when that character is basically the writer of the book.
But it's such a cool. I just like love like how she like schemed a little bit with her goddaughter, Petita.
Yeah,
just, like,
I do too.
The way she was just sitting back on, I'm like, oh, you were about to lose both. He's about to, and like you're about to get a mate who killed your best friend. Everyone loses. This is so interesting. And even like the king or whatever I forgot, was it her father?
It's her uncle.
her uncle was just like, you already called like clemency. There's nothing we can do right now. I'm like, come on.
I know. I was like, oh, I just loved all. And I loved that, like, when Caspian won and like, he's like, we're not getting married. Here's your stuff. Take care of yourself. Go find Trahan, kind of get that sorted.
He gives it all back to her.
It's like friendship. That's real friendship.
Yeah, because now she's a queen in her own right. She doesn't need a king. Yeah. Which I was like, I loved how he did that. And even, too, he does suffer consequences. They both do for their actions. Like, he has to end up leaving because by the rules of, like, the tournament, he didn't technically win.
Yeah.
The other I'm always butchering his name. Trahan gets like obviously eliminated because of what Petita does. But I like that it wasn't just like everything is roses and sunshine. Like, she still kind of loses her best friend a little bit. Yeah. By him going away. Which I'm
really curious how or if they come up in Shadow's seduction with that one. Like, I'm really, since I said I've never read it, so I have no idea. And I don't think there's an audio for that one, so we're going to have to suffer through. I know.
But what did you rate Shadow's Claim?
4 stars.
I gave it 4.5.
Maybe a 4.5. I'm still waffling. So in my original rating, I'd only given it a 3-star, and I don't know why. Like, I had no notes, nothing there. And I was like, why didn't I like this? Because this is like everything I love right now. So I'm very curious what Brain Me thought in 2013 and then 2019 when I reread it last.
Okay.
I could see not having liked it as much the first time I read it, potentially, just because of like it's so different than the other books. And it, like, you are it works 100%. You can read it as a standalone, but it'd be kind of confusing. Insular. Yeah.
It really, so I would say these books don't really tie as heavily as some of the others. Like, there's like nuggets. If you read the other books, you can pick up on these things.
There's like a couple little hints, but it's not a ton. It is definitely a good starting point if it's like one that interests you, though. Like, I wouldn't discourage people from starting here. But yeah, I liked it. I think it was good. It's just a fun change of pace.
Yeah, which is surprising for like how many books? What is this book? 12?
13? 12 or 13.
She still manages to make it like
I know.
Do stuff differently. I'm like, that's really hard to do so far into a series. But let's talk about McCree. We have Succubus Romance.
Our first Succubus.
Yeah.
We haven't had one yet in the series.
And this one is quite heavy because there's grooming involved with our hero, technically. Because, like, the prologue of what happens to him, the Succubus character kind of, basically...
Yeah, I was, like, so confused for a minute because I was, like, thinking about Chloe, and I was like, she doesn't, what? And then I was like, oh, wait, no, never mind.
The other one.
Yeah. No, so, okay, I apparently, like I said last time, I think I mixed this one up and the other McGreeve brother up.
Connor,
and I was thinking, I think so. I was thinking that was Will's book, and I forgot completely about how intense
Sorry, Laura.
The opening of this one is. Because if I'd remembered, I would have given everyone a warning. Because I was like, oh shit, I forgot completely. This one, that opening, I don't know about you, but it took me by like a little surprise there. I was like, whoa, what is going on?
I thought that was when that Succubus, I can't remember her name. I was like, oh, this must be. I didn't read the synopsis or anything. I was like, oh, this must be like your mate. Because, like, you guys are already into each other. And then, like, what happened to his family and everything. I was like, ooh. Like, that prologue just kind of, like, because it's quite a decent, I think it's, like, at least a couple of chapters.
It's a couple chapters, yeah. And like, it was a pretty
long one.
Yeah, I forgot about it completely. And I was, like, listening, and I was like, oh, shit. Shit. This is a intense setup. So, I thought it was interesting, obviously, to make his first like encounters with this succubus like a different succubus, not his mated succubus, Chloe, like be so intense and be such a weird thing from like the age of 9, which also was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But this, like, she really went for it. And this is also our, this one's a Beauty and the Beast retelling inspired. Because he's the Beast.
I can see that. I
can
see that, yeah.
But yeah, it's like not heavy handed about it. But
loose.
there's like, it's definitely got Beauty and the Beast vibes.
Yeah.
Specifically the kidnapping to Scotland to go to the house. I feel like.
Yeah, definitely. I really like too the twist of her father and kind of learning about that as well and like what happens to him.
Mm-hmm.
I like Lothair. God damn it, Lothair shows up in this book again.
Because Lothair's in everything.
He's in everything. I just really liked, especially him having like, especially when they made it the first time and what he does afterwards. I'm like, ooh, goes and throws up.
Yeah, it's so
because,
hard.
Like, he's but like I get it. Like
he has such PTSD
so cool.
from like what happened when he was 9, and like he literally lost everything besides his twin, basically. You know, because like what, they lose their mom, and then 2 days later they lose their dad, and then it's just them. And yeah, it broke my heart. Like Will is such a like, he's a heartbreaking character almost in a weird way, like more than you expect.
Yeah, I think this is like almost like a reversal of what's his brother's Connor, right?
Conrad.
Am I making Conrad?
It's
almost like the flip because the female in that book, if I remember correctly, was kind of dealing with her own PTSD when it comes to sex. If I'm not mistaken.
I'm gonna go look. Hold on.
I can't remember.
I think you're right, but now I'm like, I don't know.
I can't remember, but like it's like very, because I don't think we haven't seen a male character.
We've not had a male character
PTSD from like a sex situation.
No, we haven't.
Which I thought was really refreshing, and him having to overcome that and
Gareth.
Really kind of Gareth.
I think it's his cousin technically.
Yeah. I know there's like one book where like the female had like some like PTSD as well.
Lucia, remember, she couldn't be touched. Like she
oh yes.
She had sex, she lost her powers or something.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that right? Yes. Okay. If she has sex, she loses her powers. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, now I remember.
Okay. I was like, wait. Okay. Yeah. So that was the other McReef book in which I mixed up the two, because that's when they go find La Dorada, whatever lady. Yeah, I really loved Will and Chloe. Like, Chloe cracked me up when she kept calling him the Crypt Keeper. My favorite thing ever. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's old. It's perfect. Just call him the Crypt Keeper.
Yeah, I really love, especially when Chloe's kidnapped by the witches. That little scene.
The opening of his opening is like, oh my gosh, this is horrifying. And then her like opening and meeting her is hilarious. I feel like the kidnapping and all that. I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, oh yeah, she's with the witches.
Yep. And like the way the father kind of breaks the news to her after her soccer game. He's like, oh, I remember when my father, when I went through puberty, and he gave me a book about the birds and the bees. So like, I guess now I'm going through another life change because he handed me another book and then left. I was like, he just handed you a book called The Lore, and he's just like, okay,
and just left.
My cell phone won't work, but
and then we like get that
follow your schedule.
Whole throwback to Torture Island and Declan, and realizing that like he is like one of the big bad villains. But then I don't know. I guess I don't think he's in any of the books again yet.
I don't know.
I don't remember
if
him.
He would pop up.
I don't remember. Books. I could not believe when he rolled up and had taken like a pill to like transform into this monster thing.
I don't even know what is he technically, because he said it was like 7 different lore species.
Yeah, he's like a huge mix.
He's like a hybrid now. He's like but I was like, oh, that's interesting. That's something to explore, because now you have like a hybrid.
I mean, I feel like he has to become an enemy in the Ascension, like part of the enemy group.
Maybe. But I feel like maybe his love for
he's not going to be
Chloe,
in Veritas. I mean, he might join Virtus just because of Chloe, though.
Chloe, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because like he does love.
I thought that was interesting too. She really had to grapple with the idea that her dad wasn't who she thought he was, and I think that's something like we all kind of deal with when we grow up a little bit, figuring out who our parents are as like humans outside of being parents, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. She just had never done that, so she like really gotta give that a go.
Yeah, especially too when Will realizes he had to go through everything that he had to go through to meet Chloe.
Oh no. There was like all that tie into it. I was just like, oh.
Like everything was so connected. Like that hadn't happened, he would have never met Chloe, which is like so heartbreaking.
Yeah, I mean, he literally breaks my heart. Like I love him. I just want to give him a hug. Like it's okay, like, dude. You should be fine.
Like that was like so cool. Like this book was, I feel like wasn't as bad as like Torture Island was like hard to get through. But like I feel like with McCree, this one like really kind of heals you at the end.
It does.
Because I feel like the characters came back full circle. Everything came to like a really satisfying note. I felt like Torture Island, I was like, oh my goodness.
No, Torture Island, you just
torture to read.
Like you wanted to get to Lothair, so you were off Torture Island basically, and like didn't have to keep reading it. Well, and we meet Monroe, which is his twin, which is the pending book that's going to come out. Who knows when?
Who knows?
Somebody get me on the line with Cressley. I'm gonna beg it out of her, please. I need this book.
I feel like it's probably done. It's probably maybe going through edits, but like maybe it's just she hit a roadblock or something.
I don't know, because it's just been summer 2020 for almost a year now.
Yeah.
No, almost 2 years. We got a cover last spring.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
So it tells me it's probably nearing. It should be like almost like 80% there, because usually once you get to a cover, like the book is like pretty much.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't know.
She could have just been like everything happening. She just like couldn't get back into that headspace, or maybe Monroe is like super dark.
Maybe
like that's why it's.
I really want Monroe's book. After this book, I was like, oh yeah, I need Monroe's book like right now. Yes, the young Lycaes in this book were my favorite thing ever. Favorite thing ever. Because they were just so goofy and it was just adorable. And I love that she was like, I'm going to be the athletic director of the clan now over here. And she's just like training them and doing all this stuff, like whatevs. And he's like, no, we're leaving. It was just really cute. They were adorable though. They're like, I don't understand why he won't just accept her. I wouldn't be arguing. It's like, oh,
Chloe is pretty amazing.
She's such a good hero. Like again, Cressley, right? Every single heroine by Cressley, I don't think I've ever been like, I don't like you. So
yeah, no, I would say there's ones I've been like disappointed because I didn't think the book was as good as it could have been, and that's just Reagan. That's the only.
But that was because of the hero. Like it's always the hero I don't like. It's always the hero that I'm like.
The one book I can't get on board with. Like if I did a reread, I would skip that book.
I mean, I want to go. If we weren't doing the read along, I would have skipped that book. As soon as I remembered what it was about, I would have been like, no, I'm not rereading this one.
Let me go to at least Lothair. Even though he's a douche, like he gets redeemed in the end.
He does. That's the thing. It's like
he goes through it.
I don't think you can redeem that'd be like Chloe's dad getting a book. You can't redeem him. He literally ran the genocide camps, like where they were trapping these people and like committing genocide. Like, how do you redeem that? I don't know.
I feel like you could. I feel like you could possibly semi-redeem that character.
I mean, if anyone could, Cressley probably could manage it, but I would just be like, I don't know. And I love that like they find out about the portal to the where the succubuses live.
Yeah.
In his backyard, and he's like, "What?"
What was it? They had like some festival, like where he's like, "Oh, I bet you they have like toys and whips and everything." I was like, "What was it? Like a apple something
cider fest or something?
Cider fest?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm like having dismantled all my prejudices against the succubi.
Yeah, he's like, oh wait, you guys aren't just like constantly banging. You can have mates here. What? Mm-hmm. I was just like, oh, this is nice. Like a nice like him having to really figure that out. Like, oh, I was wrong. You've been wrong for a while.
Their society a little bit more, which I was like, oh, I like. It wasn't info dumpy, which I appreciated. Mm-hmm. It was like, it's like, okay, this is interesting because like we haven't seen any succubus really focused on in the series.
Tracy, you're right. That is why Lothair. She just nailed why Lothair was redeemed. That is 100% it.
Oh yeah, that is it.
Because like honestly, I think any other incarnation of Declan / whatever his name was could have been redeemed better than this Declan. Does that like I just think it's because it was him, and I think if he had died and came back again, like if he had died early in the book and then came back as a different Declan, like if we time jumped, it would have worked for me. Mm-hmm. It better than it worked with Declan because I just felt like Reagan didn't really like punish him enough. He's also very tortured himself, but I still don't think it's enough pain.
It was a weird setup for a romance. It was kind of like time jumpy, but then he couldn't remember who he was.
Oh, and we had the weird, like, it wasn't grooming, but it still felt icky. That opening part, like when she first meets him as the berserker, and he's like, "You're my mate, and I'm gonna after I kill 100 whatever, I'll come back or 100 battles." Yeah, like that felt very like borderline.
Yeah, it wasn't right. It wasn't the right setup. Like I get what she was trying to do.
Yeah,
but
it's not a setup I particularly enjoy in any book, to be honest. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think Lothair is redeemed for getting beheaded.
Yeah. I agree with you, Tracy, yeah.
And he doesn't really come back in the other books to dole out any lessons yet. So, and if that happened, maybe I would feel like he was better redeemed. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Yeah. Reagan just deserved the world.
Yeah. I feel like, it's not my favorite book because of those reasons. And I feel like Kresley could redeem Chloe's father, a little bit more because I can see, like, because I always feel like Kresley's books have like almost like a social commentary underneath them a little bit to some degree.
I can see that.
And I can easily see her kind of going into like feeding into like, oh, what if a kill was this? There will be prejudices. There would be because I can easily see because of Valkyrie kind of kill.
Be like him kind of experiencing what happened to the people he like tortured potentially. That could work. I'm not gonna lie, that could work.
Yeah. It could work.
Will and Chloe were just I laughed through this book multiple times. I blew through it and I was like, oh, I'm done. On to my least favorite book in this trio. Like I literally was like, oh damn it, I'm done with this one already.
So I think that's a good segue to talk about Dark Sky.
So how far are you? Since you said you didn't finish it earlier.
I got to chapter 5.
Okay. So we're just going to full spoil it.
So you can full on spoil it. Like, I'm 100%. I like Landy. I didn't get the best sense from the hero. The little bit that we got teased for him. But I was like, I like this
Thronos is a dick.
So much.
Thronos is a dick. We have, like... He's not as bad as Declan, but he's like second place for my least fave hero, I think, now.
Really? How about
which is interesting. I liked him more in my I love Lothair now though. I loved Lothair in my reread. I didn't like him in my first read, but I think in the reread I really liked him more. Thronos just I think their like young love is adorable.
I agree.
I just like there's weird purity shit in this book, and what do I hate? I hate weird purity like like sex stuff. Like they have to bone with the sheet between them the first time to make it like holy, and I was just like, this is dumb. Like this is so stupid. This is not sexy. This is not enjoyable to read. Like there's a sheet.
Kresley had to do something to make it interesting.
Well, because he had to be a weird angel demon, you know? He had to be a reckoner. Yeah. Exactly. But Nyx in this book is a fucking delight. I believe it's in this one. She's driving backwards on the Pontchartrain Highway, which if you've ever been to Louisiana, these highways like are basically over swamps on a bridge.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if that one is specifically, but that's all I could imagine was her in the Bentley driving backwards with a bat. And I was like, that is terrifying. Because let me tell you, having driven through parts of Louisiana, you're just like, there's nothing. And it's like swampland. And you're stuck on this like 2-lane, 4-lane bridge highway thing.
Okay.
Semi-terrifying, you know? Like, it's one of those things where you're like miles. Like, it's like going to Key West or something. Like, miles and miles of bridge. And you're just like, this never ends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's
not as long as like getting to Key West, but it has that similar vibe to me.
Feel.
And you're just like, you fucked. If anything happens out here, there's nothing.
But Nyx is fine. She knows.
Nyx will always be fine.
Nyx will always be fine.
And then she later like sells the car, no miles, because she drove it backwards. It's great. It cracked me up. And then she had a pet bat.
Really?
Yeah, it's great. She's just pure chaos, and I love it. I live for it.
Nyx is just amazing. Like Nyx, Sabine. I kind of feel like I like the witches the most, and the Valkyrie I tend not to love as much.
Except for you like Nyx.
Except for I like Nyx.
But Nyx I guess
is like
the
only one that I love the most.
Because she's just chaos. Like she's literally the embodiment of chaos. And then is this the one, or was it in McReeve where she goes to the council and asks to become a goddess?
I think it's Dark Sky.
At one point, okay, so she also goes to the council and is like, "Hey, I want to become a goddess," and they're like, "The fuck are you? Excuse me?" They're just kind of like, "No."
Like, Nyx is like, she's part of the Valkyrie, but like she isn't as one note as a Valkyrie can tend to be. They're like, we hate men. Nyx has like very good relationship with like other random different creatures in the lore that you would not expect. Okay. I just like the witches because like they're like kind of vain, but they're kind of petty.
I just love that they're like, no, fuck you, pay us. Fuck you, pay us. That's my favorite part of the witches. Like they're always just like, no, you're gonna pay us. And Mariketta, like in her book with the mirror, was just that was like so such funny. A fantastic like, no, fuck you. I'm going to my mirror world. Good luck.
And when she said like the bitch cut my hand.
Yeah. I was just like,
I love this.
So good. Oh, they're so good.
And what was the one that had the stepdaughter who like got her magic from happiness? I loved her character. Where she like basically like where she becomes like a stepmom. I can't remember the book. It's the one that can't talk. Like doesn't understand her language, English. I can't remember the name. It's like the gold cover.
I know. My brain.
But I cannot remember what the title of the book is called.
Malcolm's book with Demon from the Dark?
Is it
and Kara?
I think so. Is it? I think so.
She's all about partying and pranking.
Yes, and then she gets.
And he's the vampire.
Yeah, the vampire something crossbreed.
The demon. Yes.
The Veman,
yes. My brain is so Tracy. On like the 3 books we just read that I'm like, wait, what are the other books we read?
It's funny because I pick up more connections now that I'm deeper in the series.
Yes.
So I look for those more than paying attention to what happens with the A storyline.
Absolutely.
I'm like, Nyx, Sabine. I was like, Sabine deserves a whole damn trilogy.
Oh, that would be so good.
So, I just love her. Like any scene that we get with her. Because when her sister goes missing, I think in McGreeve, she like says like everything is free or something very Sabine like. Yes. Oh no, it's like nip slips.
Yes.
She's like, I'm fine with it because I was like, that's just Sabine.
She's so I know. I love all of like I don't know. I just feel like all the heroines for the most part are my favorite. It's the heroes where I'm like, you don't deserve her. You don't deserve her. Yeah, Sabine is in this book as well because of Ianthe. And Sabine is like, fuck you, Thronos. And I do adore that about Sabine in this one because she is not a fan. And then she's mad because Ianthe kept their feelings, like what their childhood from her. like their connection as kids from Sabine. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you'll get a lot of Sabine in this one because Ianthe, but Thronos is just like part of the weird Reckoner sex cult thing, aka like don't have sex and use a sheet, and you know, to have sex is like he's constantly like slut shaming her, and it's really weird. But he like, I think he like went to get her, and she was like with someone, like a vampire, if I remember correctly, or something, and he was like pissed. But I'm like, she doesn't know. Like, how is she supposed to know you're gonna show up again? You can't just roll up places and expect people to be waiting for you. I'm sorry.
And two, Sabine could like kill him too. I feel like Sabine is like one of the ones that was like, don't mess with my sister. I will kill you.
Yeah. It's Sabine just not. It's just not it.
Yeah, but I'm shocked that like even like in these 3 books, they all feel, even if you don't like the hero, they all feel very different from in some regards to like no romance is 100% the same, if that makes sense.
They're all like, it's weird when you think about how many books are in this series, and none of them feel like a rinse and repeat of any of them. And I do love that, and I appreciate what I think Kresley was trying to do. Like, I feel like she was trying to have a subtext about like purity culture and how much bullshit that is. Which Ianthe as a sorceress is like a perfect like buffer to that, I feel like, right? But I just was like, God, Thronos, you're a dickwad. I hate you. Like, I don't know what it was about him. Something about him just drove me up a wall. I don't like him. I'm very curious to find out how you feel when you finish.
Yeah, I was liking it at first. I was liking it so far. I just love Lanthe's character so much. So it's like anything with those 2 characters in it, I'm like automatically, who cares about the hero? Like even from Sabine's book, I only really rave about Sabine because I just love her so much.
I mean, it's true though. Like Redstrom's fine. Like he's not bad. You know, I do like when he has showed up as well in the other books. Because he's in. Is he in McGreeve? No, he's in Shadow's Claim that he comes up. Or was it McGreeve? He comes up in one of these 2. About working with him. Maybe it was in this book. Maybe it's in Dark Sky. I read them so like close together that I feel like my brain's like all one story.
Well, because like that's why I'm really curious to see like when we're going to actually get to the extension, right? Yeah. I'm really curious to see.
Dark Sky, he shows up. All right, Tracy, you are my hero.
Tracy just like knows everything.
You're just like my brain on this. Like I'm like I know what happens.
And then Tracy comes in with the save. Because I didn't remember Beeman. I knew he was. Like,
I remember Beeman. That's why I was like, I had to think about what you were saying, and then I was like, wait, it's that one. I mean, I told you it went through 3 book titles trying to tell Shay what one Declan was in.
Even if I finish it today, Tracy, like I would not be able to keep them all straight.
I finished a Friday morning, so I'm just kind of like two lives in a row, 2 nights with lives in a row. Yeah. So now my brain's just like, what? Wait, where am I?
Like what book? What book are we talking about?
Yeah.
Hey, at least we remember the titles for this one. I don't even know the titles for the next 3. I always have to go back to our Discord and like check.
I've already got them in the doc. Books. We're good.
Because I buy them through Libro FM, and like they don't label them like number wise.
Oh, that's weird.
So like if you go on their website, they don't label any of their series, so like you don't know. And especially because of the newer covers too, I think for most of them. I think so, but like I have to like go to, like, back to our Discord and like pull the book
of all the dang covers, and it's so annoying.
I like the newer covers though, with like kind of like the face and like the very dark.
Yeah, you know what they give me? Give me the UK vibes of the Citation covers, which is really funny because I really like them. But
it's crazy because the Side Changeling books haven't had new covers since they were released, which I think they need them because
I don't love their covers.
They're very like 90s, old, like early 2000s, a very kind of cheesy, not cheesy, but like.
No, they're just dated.
Branded by fire, caressed by ice.
Yeah, they're like, just very, like slightly dated.
Yeah, they need new covers. which I'm surprised because like maybe they will go back and change him, but I know they did for Kresley's book, so I was like, why haven't they done that for Nalini?
Who knows?
Who knows? But we didn't say what do you rate McCree? Did you give it a 4, 5, 3, 2?
A 3 or a 2? What? No, a 5. I gave it 5. I laughed way too much during it not to give it a 5. If a book makes me laugh, I generally end up giving it a 5, I feel like, because like that's hard to do. I'm not like, if you give me emotions in a book, I'm like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I gave it a 5. I gave it a 5 too. I feel like the more I get into the series, the less. Even if I give it a 4, I'm gonna probably go back and give it a 5 at some point because I just love the series so much.
Declan's book and Dark Sky, everything is like a 4.5 to a 5 for me, or a 6, which is like my favorites. But yeah, besides Declan books, which is a solid 3, like nothing else has been like, yeah, that's a 3 for me yet. Besides Declan,
I feel like Lothaire's book is probably tied with me for Declan because I was like throughout that book, I was like, Lothaire, you dick! You're literally bringing this human girl, and she thinks she has to sleep with you to keep herself alive. Like, even though he redeemed himself,
I want to see you reread this series in like another year or 2 and see how you feel about Lothaire.
I feel like I have to because I was reading this book. I was like, Lothaire's an ass.
I know, because when I was like, I think I felt that way the first time. The second time, I was like, I love him. He's great.
So I was like, when you said like you and Tamika said you loved Lothaire, I was like, did I miss something? Like I need to go back and reread it because I was like so critical of him. I was like,
I think it's hard because like he's so built up, right? Like, and that was my problem the first time I read him. He was so built up because you're like reading all these books. He's like randomly showing up. You're hearing about how much everybody loves Lothaire, and you're like, he's gonna be amazing. And then you're like, what?
I'm like, what? He brought on, so he takes a human girl and basically is priming her for like some other spirit to basically inhabit her body. So like,
but then he realizes he's being a total asshole and totally redeems himself. I mean, he lets himself.
He redeems himself, but I was still like, I don't like you. I was like, you literally.
I just appreciate his dedication to who he is as a hero at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I feel like he's just like, I'm not going to change for you necessarily. He does. But
he does in the end. But like, him and Declan are probably my tie for my least favorite heroes.
See, I feel like I think it's also fun because he's been kind of the villain, but he's not really a villain in any capacity. But like you think he is, like you're confused, like why does he keep showing up places? Why is he here? And he keeps doing that. And then you get to his book and it's like he has this like adorable Appalachian girl as his mate. And she's like, just kill me because I keep murdering people when I'm not awake. I think for me, it's honestly just envisioning Lothaire in a NASCAR jacket, drinking a Bud Light, watching NASCAR in the mountains. That makes the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's my favorite mental fan fiction.
Campaign for a Netflix adaptation of Immortals After Dark, because then I bet you will because if Kresley takes as long as she does to write these books, the show could like already give us they could Game of Thrones.
But I feel like they would fuck it up so bad.
But I do have to give Netflix credit. They're like doing romance. Like I know I'm really excited to see BB Easton's 44 chapters.
Okay, yeah.
They did Bridgerton really well.
I still haven't watched Bridgerton, so.
I mean, like it's like crazy because everyone's mad that Simon's not returning, but I was like, you guys.
I was like, no shit.
I was like, don't you know how romances work? It's like each book, like focuses on a different couple.
I wasn't surprised because I don't think he's really in the second book, which I read forever ago.
Yeah, I think he shows up later.
I mean, I don't think they couldn't do it because like they did a really good job with Shadow and Bone. Even I feel like, I enjoyed
like Shadow
it.
and Bone needs to go mature because like I'm so here for a Darkling, Alina and Mal throuple. You do not like my romance brain is like, where's Katie Roberts?
I need the throuple.
Well, because I get that. I could see it. I can actually see that.
I could see. I bet you there's some fan fiction for you, Charles. I'm sure you can find the fan fiction.
Like, it's there. It's there. Like
it's there, for sure.
It's 100% there. And when Nikolai shows up, hey, it could be a foursome.
Could be a quad. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm sure there's fan fiction to please you on this front. I mean, I do think. I mean, it would probably be a better adaptation than Game of Thrones was at the end of the day, because even though the series isn't finished, it's like there's more complete stories here, which I do appreciate. Like, if Cressley never publishes Monroe, I'll be sad, but I'll live, because I don't feel like we don't have closure for the most part.
The books are very, especially as you go on, they get quite a bit longer.
Like, I know that,
I did not anticipate.
Yeah, they do. I know. I forgot. As well. I was like,
I saw 15 hours. I was like, holy.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, wait, what happens? But yeah, Dark Sky. I'm very curious to see where you land on Dark Sky when you finish it. I'm very curious.
I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe I can fit in Dark Sky today, and then I look up, I'm like, oh crap, we have an hour.
You literally messaged me. I'm running behind, and I said, oh shit, it's 8:50. So you were probably going to be messaging me either way, going, where are you? And I'd be like, oh shit, sorry. I don't feel like it's Saturday. I think it's the 3-day weekend threw me completely this week. I'm like, wait, what day is it? Where am I? Maybe by Monday I'll be reset. I'll know where I am again. Just floating through time and space. It's fine.
The narrator? Yeah.
Oh, Robert Peckoff is...
He's amazing.
I will never get over how good of a narrator this man is. How he does so many voices in one book keeps them straight. And I know they have like clips they can play and stuff, but still, like all of the McGreeve boys sound different. Like they're like all a little different. It's not just the same flat accent. Even the girls, like I think male narrators and female voices can be a little iffy, and some of his aren't as good. But he's so deep. He's so down on the register that for where his voice sits, I think it's fine. Like it works for me. It'd be like, expecting somebody with like a really deep voice to do a good girl's voice. And I don't feel like he like high pitches it, which I think a lot of male narrators do, where they like,
they changes
their voice up too much.
Yeah. It's like he almost, It's weird because like his male voices are definitely lower, but they're not growly.
No,
so when we're like hello,
yeah,
they're lower, and his female voices are like it's a talent because Kerrigan Byrne has a male narrator as well that's really good as well, which is rare when you see like a male narrator, because I feel like most romance readers want female. I feel like females can do male voices. Narrators.
But I do agree. I like male narrators, but I do think, I do like female ones too. But like, what was I listening to? The lady who does Sarah McLean's books, Jessica Whelan, is that it?
It's
she's married to some famous
Justine Eyre. Justine Eyre.
Is that her?
Justine Eyre, yeah.
Okay, yeah. She was talking about like her voice has dropped in register from narrating books, which is really interesting too. But yeah, I think Peckoff is one of my favorite narrators. I can't listen to him in anything else now though, because all I think of him for is Immortals After Dark.
Yeah.
He's not like Andy Arndt and Teddy Hamilton and like that one guy whose name I cannot think of. You interviewed him.
Oh, Joe Arden?
Yes, Joe Arden. People like that who like to me are just the voices of romance, if that makes sense. Or Justine Eyre and people like that. Like they're the voices of romance to me. So like whenever they're a narrator, I'm fine. But if it was Robert Peckoff, I'd be like, what are you doing? This is not a Cressley Cole book. Get out of here. You're not allowed here. He's just like, so good.
He's such a good narrator.
I want to like go through and like actually highlight the books, but like I'm gonna have to do like a dual read because I can't imagine reading them without him narrating.
I prefer the audio. The audios are so good.
I do too.
That's like one series I don't feel bad about dropping money on paying for the audiobooks.
Yeah, I slowly I had credits for a while on Audible that I was like dropping. This was a couple years ago before I made more of the switch to Libro, and I was like, oh, this is great. Every month I would get a sale on credits. I'd buy like 3 more, and I was like, okay, now I'm caught up.
Now you're caught up, yeah, because they're expensive if you buy them outright.
Yeah, I got to do the credit shuffle where I get credits and buy them. But he's just so talented. And I know he narrates other stuff, but never once.
I think he doesn't do a lot of romance. I think that's this is one of the few romances that he does.
I'm going to go see what else he's narrated now. I think so too. I don't.
Yeah,
I know he did like a nonfiction.
Yeah,
I know he did a nonfiction in the last year, and somebody was like, it was like a political one, of course, and
Robert.
Yeah, he does a lot of like nonfiction.
Yeah, he did. Oh yeah, he did. Oh wow, he did Rage.
He did Less, which won the Pulitzer Prize.
Yeah,
I think Rage was the one. I saw somebody was like really mad that he.
Oh no, he did Gina Showalter.
Did he?
Too.
Well, shit, I need that in my life.
Oh, but I think he only did one book.
Oh well, that's disappointing. He's got 14 pages.
He's more sci-fi. He's more like other genres. He's not big in romance.
No.
At all. Which is interesting.
278 books, though. 278 books.
Oh, wait. I've listened to him before.
Have you?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because he did... Oh, wow. He did a lot of books.
Well, he did a Star Wars book. What? Oh, he's in the cast for it. Okay. A lot of Bill O'Reilly books. This is really interesting. That's right. I listened to when If We Were Villains, and I was like, holy shit, this is Robert Peck. I didn't look beforehand, and I was like, whoa, it's Robert Peckoff. And I was completely thrown by it.
And he does a lot of thrillers, too.
And nonfiction. He does a lot. It's wild. He's
okay.
prolific.
We appreciate a narrator that has range. We appreciate it.
I mean, that's a talent, right? That he can do all of these.
Wow. And
my vocal cords hurt just thinking about narrating this many books.
Yeah, I could never. But, should we announce the next 3 books? I do not know the names of those books.
Oh, I've got them. Okay.
Last show's going to be on Izzy's channel.
Yes, it'll be July 2nd. So July 4th weekend, I think, that Friday. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we'll be wrapping it up then. And then maybe we might have a special thing we'll do after we're done.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We need to plan that.
We won't announce it yet. But will.
We'll see what we can get together.
We'll let you know at the last.
Yeah, at the last live.
The last live.
So first of all, Dark Sky, I gave 3.5.
That's fair.
It's in my bottom tier. I feel like we'll have to discuss ranking the books in the last live, maybe. Pick our top 3 faves and top 3 bottom, our least faves.
If I'm thinking what you're thinking about what we will do for the special. I feel like if you watch the lives, it's obvious what we would do. No, but I'm not gonna say.
We can't say anything because we don't know yet. We gotta chat later. We're just weren't there yet. we had to get to our last month.
Yeah,
we had to get to our last month.
3 books, and I'm super excited because I want to read the human girl who can drink is it Sweet Ruin? I think
Sweet Ruin. He's poison to everyone but her. She's not a human.
I want to read that so bad.
She might not be. I don't know if she's full human. I can't remember.
Doesn't she have a brother? A brother character?
Yeah.
That's human too.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's.
I'm just saying, no one's what you think they are in a Kresley book. Let's just be honest.
That's true.
But yeah, so she. We have Ruin and Joe, I think is her name. For Sweet Ruin is our next one. And this is one of my all-time favorites. Then we have Shadow Seduction, which is the gay for you, which is my first time reading it ever. And then we'll have Wicked Abyss,
which is the
fiery cover. And the last one available. Until Monroe comes out, we're done. That's really wild.
It's crazy.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I want to reread the books again.
You're like, we're almost done. I want to go back.
But I just want to read the books that I want. I just want to go back and read Kiss of the Demon King. That's it.
You should. Why not? Nothing's stopping you.
I was I just love Sabine, but I'm so scared to reread, and if I don't love it as much. Because I just hyped the character in my head so much.
I don't think you'll not love it. Because when I reread it, I loved it even more.
Okay.
Just like Conrad, who is Rydstrom's brother. That's why we were thinking Conrad. Because we're thinking about Sabine. Yeah. So Conrad, Rydstrom's brother, I liked even more the second time because I understood the like some of the other stuff that happened in that one. And that he like, you know, like him serving her lobster, like getting lobster because it's in the container and it won't bother her OCD and stuff. Yeah, I'm so excited. We're almost done, y'all. I'm just so excited. Everyone who's joined us too. Like, this has been so fun. I didn't expect that many people to want to read these with us. And
it's
I was
a
like,
long
it's
haul,
fun.
so like
it is. I mean,
you who stayed with us because we started in January.
We started in January. We basically every month. You know, we wrap it up at the end of the next month, which means I don't read the books until the next month, but it's fine.
It's okay. Fine. I do the same thing. I want to read them closer, so like I can actually remember what happened.
I get it. Well, now you're done with Side Changeling, so.
Yes. Oh my goodness. No shade to Side Changeling.
I firmly believe that if you're a diehard fan of Side Changeling, you probably don't like Immortals After Dark.
Yeah.
Most of the time, because everyone I know in that the read along was like, I just couldn't do it. And I was like, that's fine.
It's true. Like all of my co-hosts for the Side Changeling don't really love Cressley Immortals After Dark, but I was like, I feel like such an odd one out because everyone else loves these books, and I'm like, I was like they're all 3, maybe 4. We're not in that 4 and 5 territory yet with Nalini yet. I feel like I have to go back and reread those books to appreciate them more.
I don't know. I really liked Heart of Obsidian.
I feel like you wouldn't have loved it as much if you like had to read all the slog to get to that book.
Well, I want to go back and read. I'm going. My next, when we wrap Immortals, my next like special book reading vlog, I think is going to be Side Changeling, but I'll do like 6 of them in a video probably. That way, it doesn't take me 6 months to
read them,
produce the videos. Also.
I always say don't do the audio. The audios are not my favorite for the series.
Interesting. I liked the audio for Heart of Obsidian.
I don't like the narrator as much because I can't speed her up as much.
Tracy, I'm excited that she likes both because that gives me a little bit of. I know there's a couple of people that have crossover, but a lot of the people I know that were co-hosting, besides Charles, were like, "I hate IAD," and I was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, they're like, "This is not my series." I'm like, "Okay."
I'll take my Presley Cole off and then everyone screamed when I started with book like 11.
Well, that series you can because the world building happens like at a snail's pace. It's very.
But they all complain there's no world building in IAD, and I don't understand because I feel like there's a lot of world building happening in IAD.
Yeah, I think the reason why is because IAD is not linear in its world building, whereas Side Changeling is very linear.
Okay.
Like you meet
sense.
The next character in that book, they have their book. Then you meet XYZ characters, and they have their books.
Okay, interesting.
So it's very easy.
Yeah, I feel like
there's
IAD
only some books you can't read.
Takes a really close read to see world building, maybe too. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of world building in the books, but I feel like it's so stretched out too. But there's a lot of Side Changeling. Isn't there like 12 or 14 in the first series?
I think it's less.
Okay. I know it's less because y'all finished before us. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3 books less, I think.
Interesting. I don't know.
But then they have the spin-off series.
It's interesting.
Which I think they're reading now.
Yeah. You're like, I'm done.
I had to take a break because like that series will put me in a serious reading slump. Because I want something different than what I get from the books.
I get that.
Not super steamy. The way the books are structured, you're kind of flipping through multiple perspectives in the world. So you really have to care about the whole silence is falling thing and the whole Sai not having emotions and becoming
which is what I got in like Heart of Obsidian. Like I got a taste.
Heart of Obsidian is like the biggest. That's the biggest turning point, I think.
Yeah.
For the whole entire series, but everything up until that point, you're like, okay, silence is falling. You have these detractors. You have this like people who are breaking off from the net. and like you kind of get I say Heart of City is like where you get the most happening. But if you read the series from the beginning, the second book will probably kill your love, unless you just push through it. But
we'll see.
Everyone can like what they like.
No, it's totally not. I think like Nalani doesn't write as alpha of alphas as Cressley at the end of the day. In the Guild Hunters series, I feel like Raphael is a little more alpha than maybe her side changelings tend to be. But yeah, like I still think her alphas are softer. And like if you're not here for alpha holes, Cressley's not for you.
Nope. 100% no.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like horn dogs on like on a billionth level. Like when they see their heroines, it's like
it's fated mates. It's no like questions
asked.
It's
very hardcore. Like if you don't like it, I can see like why you don't like it.
Yeah, no, I totally get why Cressley's not for everyone. It's just funny. It's my favorite thing. I'm like, it's fine. She can be too much, but
so next live show will be on Izzy's channel. We already announced the next 3 books. It will be our last one. If we can do something special, we'll let you know at that live show.
Yep.
Probably. So we don't spoil it. But if you know,
you maybe take some guesses. Maybe, who knows?
Well, you can take some guesses. We will not confirm until that next live show what will happen. But it's hopefully very likely that will happen, so we can have like a big kind of thing to kind of celebrate this journey. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know down in the comment section down below if you're watching this after which book was your favorite and what you rated it, and we'll catch you guys over a brand new video. Bye everyone.
Bye.